So,
Sorry, set up the
hello
camera.
everybody. He's still set up his camera, and welcome to another episode of Ears to the East. We're gonna have a little bit of a laugh right now. We completely we're gonna
Sorry, that was a bit of a laugh.
Some quack.
it was like a quack. It was like some
Yeah.
screaming dog. What the hell? We're gonna come into this one completely.
It really sounds like a duck.
I
Some
laugh
dying
like a
dog.
duck.
Quack. Um, we're coming into this video completely
Concentrate.
blind.
You got to be
Look
good at
out.
these intros.
You know what? I'm perfectly quiet for your intros, you dickhead. He's trying to
Never told you it had
sabotage
to
me.
be.
He's like, no, don't intro for me on this channel. Sabotage. And they're gonna call
Carry
it
on.
sabotage.
Get on my little duck.
Ian.
Anyway, right, shut the fuck up. Right. We're coming into this one, we're coming in completely blind, and we're going to talk about bands featuring in movies. We're going to talk about what bands would suit what genre of movies, how that movie would go, and why we pick these particular bands in no particular order for these movies that we know nothing about, that would never, ever become reality. But we're going to talk about it anyway for a laugh and a joke. So, you know what? I'm going to put Howard under pressure here for being such a tosser when I was, for being such a quack. While I was introing. So
Killer joke there. Killer joke.
killer joke.
That gets a full anyway.
No, but maybe just to give some context, we actually came up with this because we saw Babymetal will be featured in a new, what is it, Norwegian movie.
Yes.
Yeah, and we just thought it's a fun idea.
Yeah. So what bands should cameo in what kind of movies?
Well, I think first of all, we need to start with the fact that we need to have an action movie with the soundtrack done by Yabai T-shirts Yasan. Just like an insane kind of action movie with something completely bonkers, something nuts, something crazy. Just think, can you think of like a really bizarre, off the wall, insane kind of action movie?
Yes.
What? Give me an example. Give me an example, and I'll let you know if it's
You
what I'm
would
thinking.
know it.
This conversation's
sorry.
going to go great.
An insane action movie. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Something which is like bizarre, I'm thinking something along the lines of like Crank or something like that.
Like Fast and the Furious.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
something like that. Something where it's just insane, stupid, and then get Yabai T-shirts you're saying in the background. Because I tell you what, films are much better when they're self-aware. And if you're going to have a movie which is just fucking stupid and insane all the way through, why not have the screaming sounds of ultra high pitch Yabai T-shirts you're saying in the background going 250 BPM? That would make any action scene better, and certainly would add the sense of this is insane. Yabai T-shirts you're saying.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm not sure if I would choose that group especially, but it works for Bandmate. We already see it.
Yeah, I think Bandmate are actually a little bit more. I think they got more of a brooding sound a lot of the time.
True, but they have in the, I'm not sure how the Netflix movie is called. They actually have the Bandmate. Sorry?
Katie, I think it was
Katie,
called.
yeah, or Kate.
Yeah.
I think Kate.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Have a
don't talk
song
about that.
playing during a car chase scene and also during a fight scene they're actually playing on the stage. Yeah, it fits.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Bandmate. I don't think of Bandmate as being a particularly cinematic kind of band. I feel like their songs are very much like little self-contained worlds. I can't really imagine it in the background of anything. And like
they bring the energy, for example, for a car chase, I would say.
Yeah,
it's
they bring the energy
enough, at least.
I think most rock bands could be at least. I think any rock band where they couldn't be credited with at least bringing energy might be considered a bit of a failure in concept.
I wouldn't put like, I don't know, some epic Unlucky Morpheus song during a car chase. I think that's just not the vibe.
I know Hans Zimmer and Unlucky Morpheus doing a car chase soundtrack. I'm there for that. It's like just Unlucky Morpheus, like all of the like, and then Jill just suddenly goes.
Yeah, but it has to be an epic car chase.
Yes, it would have to be like that car chase out of what was it? Inception, where it's the car chase, and then inside the car chase is the hotel, and inside the hotel is the mountain. It would have to be that kind of car chase. Some epic Christopher Nolan car chase that is where you could get Unlucky Morpheus and Hans Zimmer. What? I don't know how that would even sound like, but it sounds brilliant. The epicness. The epicness. All right. So what epic bands? When we think of epic bands, a lot of the time you're thinking of like big stage fillers like Babymetal, but obviously Lovebites is obviously big epic sound. They use a lot of strings and things.
I got like the perfect fucking cameo for Lovebites. Like obviously I misunderstood the assignment for this video because like YouTube went straight to like songs that would in like soundtracks.
You did the intro, so
I was thinking of like full-blown cameos, but I got this thing in my head where I'm like thinking of like a Blade movie or something set in Japan. And Blade's chasing like a vampire down, bursts into like a show, and the vampire disappears, and he's walking through the crowd. And, like Lovebites are playing on stage and shit like that. And then he's moving through the crowd. The girls are playing the music, and then like something stops, like the band stop playing, Lovebites start playing, and they all look at Blade, and he's like, "Oh, what the hell's going on?" And that's when you find out that Lovebites are actually vampires, and then all hell breaks loose, and there's a big action scene.
This is like your AI Lovebite story from behind.
Kind of, yeah, kind of something like that. And you can do something with the vampires to do something like that, yeah. And I think that would be like a perfect way to get like the music in, the girls cameo, and have an action scene that drives the plot along at the same time. So yeah,
it is true. Like I think every Blade movie, he had to walk through some sort of crowded
some kind of rave or something like that. Yeah,
maybe it's
trying to avoid tax.
Too much to ask, but do you have a specific song in mind? That would play during that scene.
Ooh, maybe like Judgment Day or something like that. Like something like where the chorus is like really like personified, like in the like as Blade's like getting closer to the stage, it's like Judgment Day, Judgment Day, and like as he's getting closer to the stage, and then it just stops. The music
then
just
the
stops.
Finale and
then Blade's is like boom, 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 pops Miyako's head off or something like that. I don't know.
What?
Oh my god!
That escalated quickly.
Man, your cameo went fucking hard. Like just like Wesley Snipes. Like he hasn't paid his tax, but he will decapitate your favorite band.
Yeah. So like he can make like an awesome one-liner like, I like hip hop punk. I'm more into rap, bitch.
It's like, if you were to take the first Blade movie as any indication, it's like I'm more into like 90s techno.
Exactly.
I never got over 90s techno and leather jackets. It's like the Matrix is still cool, right? Like,
the only metal I like is my sword.
Yeah, there we go. That's a less concerning catchphrase.
I felt that line, yeah.
Okay. Your metal sucks. Now taste mine.
No, I'm sticking with your previous one. All right,
I have a different idea. How about one of these movies where an AI is going wild, but you know, on the screen, the face, it's Kiari Pamio Pamio.
I was thinking you were going to say Kiari Pamio Pamio. Like...
She's always like looking super happy, but also it's a little bit weird.
It's a little bit unnerving.
She's trying to kill you at the same time.
I could just imagine like someone's at home. And you always, these movies are always set like a little bit in the future, and someone's in their home's completely controlled by AI. They're just relaxing, and then suddenly their eyes are closing, but in the background you see a little pink light come on, and just slowly you hear like maybe like their Roomba like powering up to kill them, and then just
yeah, exactly.
And then the Roomba just comes out, and they're like, oh, no! That movie sounds awesome. Kiari Pami Pami is a rogue AI like killing people in the future. Fucking hell yeah.
I'd watch it.
I would. It's actually, now I'm just imagining a version of like iRobot with Will Smith, except when he goes in that room and there's all the robots, they're all just like Kiari Pami Pami. Yeah, why not?
That's how Fortnite will look in the future. Just Kiari Pamio Pamios fighting each other.
When she eventually gets old enough, she's just gonna upload herself into Fortnite and live forever.
She's already done it. It's already there.
It's probably true, actually. It's like we're gonna.
She's a real AI.
Oh, real AI. Oh my God, the like the big ethical problems with the sentence you just said.
Dun dun dun. Error. Cannot compute.
If like Kyari Pami did that, you just go, oh, this is her normal kind of music, would you? Oh, her brain's exploded and something's flowed out. Oh, that's just normal Kyari Pami.
Yeah,
That's just what she does. Yeah. So her eyeballs are coming out of her mouth, just normal normal Kyari Pami.
Honestly, if that would happen, like everyone would be, yeah, it was a cool show, especially when she exploded at the end.
Exactly. So just Kyari. It's just what Kyari does. Yeah, I can actually imagine that being a really a really cool kind of show. But I'm gonna. Is it okay for me? I was wondering if I start.
Nothing's off the
anyway.
table. Do it anyway. Do it.
I was about to say, like Neon, what kind of movie would you like to see Cyber Japan dancers in?
the after 12 o'clock kind.
I mean, you don't need to imagine a lot for that.
I'm pretty sure he's imagined the entire script already, and it's pretty short.
No. For a while, I really had a.
When I think of like Cyber Japan, I think of like something from like Austin Powers, where like there's like
really.
they're all like sex robots or something with like little guns come out the nipples.
Oh God! Well, at least we know the way that you want to go out now.
I think Miku would be good in a film, and like a comedy is like the moment the protagonist is like down on his luck and he's going to a bar and he's drinking himself into oblivion and the bad guys won. I could just imagine like Miku sitting down next to him going, and like them two talking and her turning around and going, when I was a young pigeon, Poe. I did not let being like dead cute and adorable. I did not let anything get me down. When I made my band, I did it all by myself, and now we conquer the world of world domination. And then just the protagonist going, "Thank you, Miku, well bandmate," and just running off, and like she turns into a pigeon or something and just flies away.
Do you know what? The whole way you described that scene, though, I imagine that she's got to have like a trucker cap and just like a glued-on beard, just a glued-on grey beard.
Yeah,
pigtails, everything. Just a trucker hat, glued-on beard, and maybe just like one of those checkered style shirts, like lumberjack shirts. And she turns around and she does all this talking, but still maybe like the poofs are coming out from under her shoulders and everything, and like the maid skirt is still showing her. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. The old white pigeon.
Spy maid. It's just a really bad spy because he's always wearing a maid outfit.
Yeah. But somehow the joke is that somehow she gets away with it and nobody notices.
Yeah.
No one ever suspects the maid.
Yeah,
it plays in a world where everyone is wearing a maid outfit.
Yeah, the spy could be like fully disguised, and the bad guy's like, "Mr. Bond, I know it's you." And Miku stood right next to him, but he doesn't realize it's Miku, and he's like, "Seriously? No one can see the maid."
Actually, talking of maids, you could have a murder mystery movie involving AKB48 where it could be any of them, and the movie is basically 16 hours long as they try to eliminate each
too many suspects.
Too many suspects.
It's impossible.
Yeah, the impossible task of trying to find out who the murderer is amongst AKB.
And you'd come out the exact way you went in, not knowing any of their names.
The funny thing is, though, is that like Morning Musume, they were one of the idol groups of a similar time. They did a whole stage play, which was a zombie apocalypse style like horror stage play starring the members of Morning Musume. And I remember that from years ago. That must have been like 15, 20 years ago. And Morning Musume just doing this stage play. And I saw like clips of it and just them being attacked by zombies and stuff. I'm like, this is so random. So it was one of my first introductions to just how random.
I know that from Electric Callboy. Do you know that one song? They have one song where it's just playing on a field and it's just the most, I don't know, Schlager, if that means anything to you, Schlager sounding song that you've ever heard. It's like, yeah, really, really bad. And then, yeah, like halfway through the song, it just switches to extreme metal and a bunch of zombies come running and kill all of them.
If we're talking about like a good cameos though as well, we need to do like the bad ones. Like I would really love to see like some guy from like, I don't know, BTS or something like that, like cameo, just to have his head blown to pieces, just so like me as the audience could be like, yes, like he just cameos and goes, hey guys.
Doesn't Justin Bieber get killed in one of the movies?
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
He gets shot in like a TV show.
Yeah, exactly that. It's like they just do it for fun because they know they're playing into that, like that you just want to see somebody get shot, like somebody like, you know.
I'm trying to think of artists who I really hate, who I actually want to talk about without starting the entire thing to become about that. But people who I actually want to see die on screen are mostly not Japanese.
People that I actually want to see die.
I would like to see I'd like to see all the people who send unpleasant tweets to young idols just turn into an army and then just get like flamethrowered. I don't even need the movie. It's not a movie, actually. This is just a literal comment. Actually, I was saying, and anyone who sends
mean thought that Howard is having.
Anyone who sends mean tweets to young idols,
evil people.
Yeah, fuck the movie. Let's get a flamethrower. Actually, on a positive note, though, I was going to say, how about some sort of sci-fi movie with the soundtrack done by HANABIE? A HANABIE soundtrack to a sci-fi movie.
I'd love that. It would need to be like
I think they could do the big spaced out sounds. I think they could do that. I can imagine Matsuri actually
you know, these little songs they have, they are just purely electronic, but you would also include the metal parts.
But I can imagine that actually, I think Matsuri would be really good at writing something quite symphonic. I think she's one of those people who could convert over to doing soundtrack writing quite well. Her whole style of writing, she understands layering very well. And I think she could I think she could write a good string section and put it behind like some digital cyberpunk sounding thing. I think she would be great at doing like a sci-fi soundtrack.
Do you know what movie I think would be great for that as a match made in heaven? Like a Chronicles of Riddick film where it can go slow, but as soon as the action kicks in, boom.
I mean, I would give them a better franchise, but
I was about to say, it's like you named a franchise with one good film. One decent film.
Two good films.
Which was the other good one? Like the first one, everyone basically likes as a cheap movie. There's three, isn't there?
Pitch Black is nice.
Pitch Black, that's good fun.
There's four.
There's four? I thought there was three.
No, there's four. We've got Pitch Black. I think there's a four. Pretty sure there's four.
Chronicles Returns.
There might be
Chronicles of Vin Diesel.
I'm getting confused now. Is there 3 or 4? There might be 3 actually. You might be right. I thought there was 4, or I've seen there's a 4th one in development. I don't know. You got Pitch Black, you got Chronicles of Riddick, and then you got I think you're right. Actually, there's only 4.
I think there's like a game or something, isn't there? Okay.
And the game as well. The game's really good, by the way. I played that. Return to Butcher Bay. That's actually a phenomenal game. If you've not played it, it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, 3 films, it says, yeah.
Yeah, 3 films. And then the
remake with soundtrack by HANABIE.
But Pitch Black was amazing. The second one is quite all right, but like not like kind of bombed when it came up. The third one didn't get a lot of love, but it's actually a really good film. So the first and Pitch Black and the third one's actually really good.
But isn't like at least the first one almost like half a horror movie?
Yeah, it's basically just a very sort of condensed, small-scale horror movie.
So you would put like Matsuri's style also she can do that more horror style. Because that's not really something we see in their music, I would say.
Or if you want to...
I think you could, yeah.
If you want to go like futuristic and like cyberpunkish, what about like a soundtrack to like a new Judge Dredd? I think that would fit really well.
That with HANABIE as well, yeah. I mean, he'd have to be wearing like little pink daisies on his outfit at the same time. But I think throw that together, Harajuku Dredd, and you could get yourself a little bit of HANABIE behind that. I think that would work. Actually, by the way, what you were saying there, Benedict, about Matsuri doing horror. Now I come to think about it, actually, I think that kind of like that action horror, I think you could do that because you could have those sort of brooding lo-fi like sort of drum beats and stuff, sort of like lo-fi digital stuff pounding in the background, building up a sense of tension. But yeah, like more traditional horror, definitely that wouldn't be the sort of thing I'd go to HANABIE for. But something where it's pacey, because they got a sense of urgency to their music, and like those blasts of power that they can inject into their music. They're very good at that sort of light and dark, quiet to loud thing. Yeah, I think HANABIE could do a great soundtrack for something, so long as it was fairly pacey and had a fairly modern feel to it. Then yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Unlucky Morpheus would do well for like a cheesy B side, like sort of horror action film. What can I'm struggling to remember the name, but can anybody remember the name of that franchise back in the 2000s where it's like it was vampires versus werewolves, really popular.
Oh God, the Underworld ones.
Underworld, there you go. I could totally see like Unlucky Morpheus on that Underworld track.
Actually, I'd go for Yosei Teikoku. They are similar, but I feel they would even fit even more.
Yeah, I think something about Yosei Teikoku is like I think also it's partly in the vocal delivery, but it's also they kind of have that very up and down, like their songs go a lot of like raising and falling little bits. It kind of like plays to that more chaotic nature. Whereas I think like Unlucky Morpheus is more like a sort of a train, like going everything sort of like flows with a lot of power, but Yosei Teikoku is a little bit more up and down and left.
It makes me think, what kind of music does the movie actually have? Does it have like rock?
Shit, elements? I believe it's all shitty, sort of like wannabe 90s techno and stuff, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so all
do I remember that right?
I don't know actually.
I never watched those movies properly. I've only seen clips.
I'm just wondering because what you were describing about Matsuri.
Do you know Atreyu? Benedict Atreyu?
Atreyu, the boy from God of War.
No, the band. Atreyu.
Yes, I actually do, but it's like an old group.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember the song Painted Black or Black Bride or whatever. I can't remember the exact name of it. But that's off
Painted Black is Rolling Stones.
That's off the Underworld soundtrack.
I see.
I stand corrected.
Remembering what from the Resident Evil soundtrack, it was made by Marilyn Manson, and he also has like a lot of like really grungy electronic-y stuff. So that's kind of what I what I imagine for what we were describing for Pitch Black.
The Resident Evil soundtrack wasn't too bad, wasn't too bad.
It was actually quite nice.
The film was crap, but the soundtrack was
Marilyn Manson's bad.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like a lot of these bands would fit in those really like cheesy like B-tier movies, I think.
Well, the thing is, a lot of the music that because if you think about bands on soundtracks as a general tend to be, if you've got a soundtrack which has bands on it, it tends to be something a little bit more like pacey, accessible, or cheesy. A lot of the time, more serious movies will have full on, like properly scored soundtracks, which is kind of why I said with the Matsuri aspect of HANABIE, I can imagine her like doing stuff with HANABIE, but also taking it up to a different level and kind of like actually doing like some, really writing some stuff that was full on soundtrack. I mean, obviously you could take like a historical drama and you could throw in Wagaki Band. That would be an obvious like shoe in for something like that. But
you should have got Wagaki Band in a new Assassin's Creed game. So Jesus Christ.
Yeah, why not?
So
it's a mess anyway.
It's a mess anyway.
I've heard that's not popular.
No, it's not. Japan's actually suing Ubisoft for like historical misreputation. So
I'd heard some things. I haven't read enough, but I'd heard some things about that said it was, shall we say, not exactly really interested in Japanese history so much as like
but the main character isn't a Japanese person, so that's
my understanding is that the person who they picked to do a story about, actually they've like totally falsified his story. It's like his story they represent.
Apparently, I actually wanted to ask you. But apparently, it's this famous story about some outsider coming to Japan and becoming a samurai or something.
He is really, really like unpopular. Like he is like so minor. The story with Yusuke is
it's popular in the West probably.
It's a West thing. So basically this whole story all comes from this one white writer, basically this one white historian who falsified records that Yosuke did some of the things that he claims he did. This guy wasn't even prominent, sorry, in Japanese history like at all. He was definitely a real person, but he never did any of the things the West think he did.
From what I heard, his story was not a particularly epic story in like an epic way, but it would have been an interesting one to tell properly, because apparently he would probably have seen some interesting things. But I mean, his story would have more been the story of a normal person seeing interesting world from a different perspective, rather than they've painted him out as to be some kind of like epic hero. So
he
I guess
lived in an interesting time, but the way that the West have portrayed him, like he was the hero that changed Japanese history. And
oh, they haven't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The thing is that like with Wagaki Band, they care about history. So if they did it, would have to be like a historically accurate kind of thing. Just imagine Wagaki Band like really would care about, or maybe not even historically accurate, but historically respectful. They'd want it to be like because they are students.
I mean, they do
of
traditional
Japanese
music,
culture,
but I would imagine the game to actually have music like that.
Well,
yes, but probably not Wagaki Band.
Well, this is a thing that pissed Japanese people off as well. Is like when you fight somebody and you start killing, Japanese people, it goes into some Western hip hop oriental freaking music, combat music, and it's just like you're just kind of like, oh
no, that's not true. I don't even.
No, it's true. It's true. It's 100% true. Go check out the trailers. That pissed people off.
Is that just a trailer thing though? Because I mean, I know everyone said about the Gladiator 2 trailer about it having hip hop in, which was a bad decision.
Oh no, that was like the legit battle music when you're fighting somebody. So if you pick a fight with somebody, it goes into this like modern
what's the
oriental hip hop Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's the new Assassin's Creed game set in Japan. So there's lots of controversy.
I would actually love to play that game because I would just love to be in that world. But
same. Like I played.
Maybe wait for a sale.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, wait for a sale. I played Ghost of Tsushima, and that was so fantastic, so brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. So I just googled it, and apparently it does. Just anyway, all right. That's just so weird. I don't know.
But maybe getting back to the topic, would be a good fit.
Yeah, I mean, Wagaki Band, I think, would be perfect for that kind of thing. But I mean, again, it's like usually that kind of movie, you'd have more of a soundtrack. So I'd expect them more to be like, I wouldn't really expect to hear like a proper Yuko Suzuhana vocal. I mean, maybe if she's in an actual scene performing and singing, but I think I'd be more inclined to expect them, including Yuko, to go away and actually just write music, like more soundtracky style music is what I would imagine you'd get from them.
Yeah. On a more serious note, I'd really love to see Ado tackle like a really depressing, sad song. For like
Ano or Ado?
Ado.
Both.
Oh, both could do it. Yeah, for sure.
Call it.
Ado or Ano. But I prefer to see Ado just because I feel like she's got the more of a range than Ano. Although I think both could do an amazing job. I'd just put Ado on a little bit of a level above.
I think Ado's got obviously more of a singing range, but I think Ano's got the ability to tap into more genres and feelings. Because I mean, I was saying this recently with Ado, as much as I love her whole thing, it started to grate a little bit on me now, and that like a lot of her music is like she throws her voice all the time, and it's like it's always 11, and there's never enough like chill bits to give it contrast.
Well, that's why I was saying
every single thing.
To see her do
exactly
do something that's like really toned down, really sad for like a movie soundtrack or something.
I would love to hear Ano do like something for one of those really.
You had to say Ano, didn't you? You got him started.
Now you mentioned it. I'd like to hear her do like a soundtrack for like some sort of like really quiet, introverted, like psychological ones. Yeah, maybe like one of those sort of like movies where it's really just about like one person and you kind of follow them, and it's like a very internal dialogue. Because I feel like Ano's music all feels like internal dialogue. I always said like the contrast between Ado and Ano. I said Ado feels more like someone who's blasting you with power, and Ano feels more like someone who's like inside you, like pulling at the heartstrings things and getting into like your actual thoughts and like more sort of pulling from the inside.
I feel like add another group to that movie's soundtrack, which is Gatrick Spin for the more, I don't know, actiony parts.
The movie I was thinking
I have
about
to
probably
run over here because I forgot something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Run across the room and suddenly just like Kachiyama just plays for like 5. I can see that if the character was in a situation where they had to come out of their shell, yeah, like gastric spin would be a great way to sort of explode out of your shell, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's an interesting one. I can kind of imagine that. Anyone can think of what kind of movie would you put Babymetal in, and don't say a Norwegian one.
Hmm.
Depends. Are we talking about the girls or just their music? If it was like a cameo, I feel like they could be in anything from like a comedy to like a serious film or.
I think I would actually put them in some kind of Egyptian mystery adventure where they like it plays in the old classical Egypt time, and they are like performers in some kind
Yeah,
of
you know what?
performers
That would
for
be
the
brilliant.
pharaoh or something.
I would have it so it's like a chase scene, like the protagonist and getting chased by like somebody, and then they go through like this throne room, and everybody's doing that, and all you see is like 3 girls on a throne, and it's just for a split second. The camera pans on them, and it's Momoko, Sue, and and Moa, and then like he just runs through, and everybody turns around as they're doing that to it.
They're doing it to the beat.
Yeah, to the beat. Yeah.
I'm kind of intrigued though, because the way you were describing it, Benedict, it sounded like you were saying like Babymetal, but singing like a old-fashioned Egyptian style folk song, maybe.
Well, I was thinking of like metalism style, like that, obviously without the electric guitar and somehow differently.
Rewritten onto old traditional instruments. It would be obvious. It would be a little bit like you'd have to accept this movie is not going for historic accuracy, but it would be cool. I'd go for that.
I mean, we've seen the girls with like shanty and stuff like that. They can definitely tap into like different different cultures.
I think they work quite well on in this Oriental vibe.
Metalism definitely, I think, would like you say, it's kind of got that more Middle Eastern sort of African vibe to it going on there in a roundabout way. So yeah, that's an interesting one. But yeah, the Asian
just
vibe,
the outfits that I connect to Egypt somehow.
Yeah, there is something about the outfits and the sort
fox
of like
symbol, you know, it's kind of similar to the pharaoh mask thing,
sarcophagus pose and everything that they do. Yeah. I think I like though that, like Neil was saying, that they're really good at the like Asian sound. It's like, yes, all of these bands would be pretty good at
villains and like rise from the sarcophagus.
But then someone has to kill Babymetal. How could they ever be the villains?
They will just put them back.
It should be like an apocalypse film where everything's going to hell and all the buildings are burning and everything's going to shit, and then the girls just look at each other and go, "Fuck this, we're out," and then they all just get like on their spaceship and fly out.
Do you know? Actually, no. Let's make this much more intense as he came up with it. The star of the movie is Benedict. And yes, the bad guys are Babymetal. And in the end, you know where this is going. In the end, it's just a scene where Benedict is there confronted with Moa, and he's got to kill Moa to save the world.
Cancelled because the main actor didn't want to play this part.
We could have like a prologue. In the early days, there was 3 witches.
I mean, actually, I would totally
trying to take over the world. But our epic
be so close to Moa again.
But our epic hero stopped the villainesses by killing one of the trio named Yui.
It's just a picture of like him crying. Oh, I didn't mean to do it.
It was Benedict. Benedict killed Yui. Now, 2,000 years later, they're back.
I do like the fact that you brought like the Babymetal narrator into this.
I know.
In the years before Egypt, there was Babymetal. It's like, okay, dude. Oh, I think Benedict froze for a second now. I was waiting for what Benedict was saying.
All good. I'm here.
You froze with your mouth open.
Just wanted to say that I would totally do it because I would never be so close to Moa again.
Oh.
And I wouldn't actually hurt her. No worries.
You just walk up to her and you just go, "You kill everyone and you enjoy it." And then you just walk off into the desert and everyone will be like, "This is not the way this movie."
Yes, my queen. Everything you want.
This is a dark way for this movie to end. Yeah,
I think HANABIE as well would be pretty cool for like an action sequence kind of film. I could totally see like
wait,
a soundtrack for
is
that.
that an adjective or wait, what agony? What?
Hagane.
Hagani,
Oh,
sorry.
Hagane. Okay, I thought you
Hagani.
said agony. Hagane.
Agony.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Um,
my English has to pronounce that G. I'm sorry.
I can imagine with like the recent like Hagane switch towards that more like big theatric Lovebites. Actually, current Hagane and Lovebites could probably do like an old fashioned like sword wielding like knights fighting and dragons style movie. They could like a fantasy movie. They could definitely do a fantasy movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
But I don't think actually a lot of these movies have music like that. Anyway.
I mean, we're making it better.
We're making it. I mean, just from this talk, you could put any band in any situation and any music, and it would make it work.
All right, let's think of the ones that would be worst. We've got 4 minutes. What would be the worst combinations?
Oh, the worst combinations.
A romantic comedy with.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the worst possible one.
Did he freeze or is he trolling us?
I don't know. A romantic comedy with Pizu. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
I see.
How about a contemplative melodrama? Contemplative melodrama about relationships and the meaning of futility of humanity and the eventual old age and death and all these sort of sad, morbid subjects, done by Silent Siren.
A psychological intense horror sung by Ayami Muto.
I would put like Broken by the Scream in a really innocent children's movie.
Yes, there we go. Thomas the Tank Engine, the movie with Broken by the Scream.
Broken by the Scream could totally work in something like Trolls, though. Like they find the subsection of Trolls that just play Broken by the Scream.
Oh, okay. How about a historic drama with
epic rap battles of history? There you go.
That seems almost weirdly appropriate, actually. I'd like you got to put like some like Wagamama Rakia in a historic drama with rap and everything. Everyone hates rap in historic dramas. We've seen that from recent movie comments. Oh dear.
Oh.
Well, there we go. I think I've broken. I think
we're spent.
You've been broken by the Scream.
We've been broken by the Scream. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to my HANABIE soundtrack sci-fi movie.
I want to see some good movie scripts. I want to see some more.
See my nature documentation with Unholy Orpheus soundtrack.
I love it. The gentle birds laying in the trees.
I was just waiting for like the throaty roars.
I can't do that.
And now it's mating season.
Oh, and you see
Ooh, the actual announcer. Yeah, that would be cool.
The gentle bird flaps its wing as it leaves on
All right, everyone, we'll get in the comments, like and subscribe. Obviously, like, do tell us what movies you think, what type of movies you think, what bands would work out best for, or what artists. Let us know as well which would be the most inappropriate, which would be the worst combinations of movies and artists. And do you know what? If there's some really good funny ones, I might present them to the guys, and we might do a separate episode where we.
Yes, we want your scripts down below in the comments.
If your Cyberly Crush suggestions.
If your feedback is funny, I'll make sure it gets through to the guys. Anyway, 10 seconds left. So remember to keep your ears to the ears.